All right, we are joined with two of the starting pitchers in the Cardinals rotation, Jaime Garcia and Adam Wainwright. First, let's talk a little baseball, and then we'll get to the event that you guys are promoting coming up in August. Adam, your season has, the way it started and the way it is now, there's been, to me, I would say it's been your finest season as far as adversity and how you've handled it and continued to be that leader. Talk a little bit about the struggle that you had early on and how you've turned that into a positive.
Well, as far as adversity goes, it's certainly been my finest one. I've had plenty of that. I've had one thing after another happen all year long, and that's the way it goes. I think sometimes when your season doesn't start out like you want to, it's so important to get off to a good start in these games and in these long regular seasons. When you get off to a good start, you set up your whole season for great success, and when you don't, you have to grind your tail off the rest of the way to try to make it back. And so I've really never had a start like this other than 2012 after Tommy John surgery, and that was totally arm-related. This one was, unfortunately, I had, without making excuses, some of it was due to my leg and some of it was due to faulty mechanics and other mistakes. But it's you're right. It's been a grind, and sometimes you learn how to persevere through all that. When you come out the other side of it, though, you're much better for it.
Jaime, this rotation, as it sits now, really seems like it's clicking. How dangerous can this club be if the rotation continues to do this? His offense has been very productive all season. Defense seems to have gotten better. How dangerous do you think you guys can be if everything starts to click?
No, I think we all said it all year since spring training that we were very confident in our rotation, and the guys that we have, the group of the talent and that combined with the unity and the group, and I think the best baseball is yet to come for us. We're starting things starting to go our way now, and we're all healthy. We're all excited, working extremely hard, and pulling for each other.
Some of the things that you guys do off the field is remarkable, and I've seen, Adam, you and I have traveled to Haiti together, and I just recently got back from that trip and seen the progress that's happened because of water and sanitation. I was very limited into my knowledge of how many people lack access to clean water and toilets. I was blown away. This last trip we spent all day putting 20 toilets in the community, and to think that in 2016 people don't have toilets is remarkable to me. And Jaime, I know when you first got to the big leagues, you talked so much about, I can't wait until I'm able to make a difference for my people back in Mexico. And now you're doing that. You guys have teamed up with an organization called Water Mission, and they go and they provide access to safe, clean drinking water and toilets in communities and all over the world. And Jaime, you're doing some stuff in Mexico. You've already done two cities have benefited from this, and there's two more that are on the way. Adam, you've done it in Honduras and Haiti. Talk a little bit about your involvement with Water Mission, why it's important to you, and then we'll talk about the Walk for Water here in St. Louis coming up in late August.
Well, for me, like you said, I was born and raised in Mexico, and I've always, ever since I came out to the big leagues, I wanted to, have an opportunity to give back to my community and my country, and after hearing the amazing things that Adam was doing with Water Missions, and I heard with the things that they were doing around the world and the impact they were making on a lot of people, I wanted to get into the same thing, and the fact that they were even doing a lot of great things in Mexico, I jumped aboard, and I was I've been extremely excited about all the things that we started doing, and it's definitely something that I'm looking forward to for this off season after we won the World Series to go back and spend time with the people and see all the great things that we're doing.
And Adam, for him going to see it for the first time, you've gone and seen some of the projects you've done. How big of an impact is that going to have on him to see the people that he's actually helped?
Oh, it's going to be tremendous, and I think Jaime's already seen some of the impact that he can have in his own country when he goes in there and speaks his own language, and those guys can relate to him so much, and they know that he was somebody just like them. He came from Mexico and he made it big time, but he is not satisfied with just the money and the platform he's been given. He wants to help give back to those people in his communities, and I think that just goes so far in his country. I think when we saw firsthand, and we weren't even from Haiti, when we see firsthand, we were not from Honduras, when we see firsthand all these wonderful things that water can bring and sanitation can bring to communities. It's when you think about it, water is probably the thing we take the most for granted. I mean, I always say this story, but I remember watching the Little League World Series a few years back, And there was a team that came in, and I don't remember if they were from Africa or somewhere overseas, and they said, what's the coolest thing about being over here playing in the Little League World Series? And they said, oh, you can go to the bathroom and get clean water. Like they apparently they would go into and turn the sink on and just watch the water run out. They couldn't believe that it was that close and it was that accessible. And so when you see that firsthand, when you see the people crying in the streets, when you see the impact it's having on their stomachs don't hurt anymore, there's no one getting sick. I mean, it's dramatic. It's dramatic leading forward. You don't want to live your life the same way anymore.
Well, that's great stuff that you guys are doing. And I've, Adam, like I said, been there with you, just recently got back and seen the effect that it's had on these communities and how that allows other things to happen because of that trust that's built there. So for more information on the Walk for Water here in St. Louis, go to walkforwatermission.org/walk/STL. And again, that's going to be on August 27th at Kirkwood Park starting at 8:30 in the morning, a 3.5-mile walk that will simulate the walk that people do the average walk that people do in a third world country to get access to water. Guys, thank you so much for being here, and thanks for the work that you do for the people all over the world.
And thanks for having us.
There you go.